So really, very much like said yesterday, listen, nothing easy about these wins, but we found a way to win, and ultimately we won that game in the first 8 minutes. You just didn't know it was gonna. That's how it was gonna go down, but that gave us a lead, and we were able to hold on to that. You know, the fast start, the turnover, go down, score, turnover, score points off of it, and defense gives us another couple 3 and outs that we score. So that was big, and then we fought them off there at the end. Came through with two critical plays on third down. Goff did a hell of a job. LaPorta, Josh Reynolds to finish it out, and so that was really the story of the game. Defense getting two takeaways for 14 points was crucial for us. So. That was big. I thought offensively, like I said last night, Sam LaPorta came up huge. It was an outstanding game by him, not only in the pass game, the run game. Goff, we just mentioned. Josh Reynolds, listen, he got that critical pass, but he really created separation. And once again, all those receivers, he and Saint, man, they put in all the dirty work in the run game. And you get that much run yardage. It's your receivers have to be able to block, and that's what they're doing. That's why we're getting the production that we are, some of the bigger yards. So defensively, I thought Cam Sutton played one of his best games since he's been here. Barnes was another guy, really stepped up and played big for us. Certainly Hutch. Jack played well. Bruce Irvin created some pressure off the edge. That was good to see. BB with the sack. And then special teams, Germ, Germ, once again, so he gets about 20 reps on defense. He played at a high level. Special teams, he was all over the field, man. And he's a football player. We talk about it all the time. Fox, Rodrigo, and Craig Reynolds also on special teams. So I know there's a few guys there, but listen, that's a good win. That was a hard one. That's hard fought. It's hard to win in the Superdome. That team's fighting for division championship over there. So it was good. Questions?
You know how hard it is to come in and play that position at a high level. Do you even let yourself marvel a little bit at just the consistent production that Sam has had at that position? You look at some of the numbers, the first to 60, 600, and 6 touchdowns in the history of the game. Some of those numbers are pretty crazy. Just, you marvel at him a little bit and how he's been able to just step in and be really consistent week after week?
Well, first of all, I don't know what that's like. I know what the run game part of that's like, protection. I have no idea what it's like to go out there and get open and run routes and catch the balls he's catching. I was never even close to that. It is not easy. It's not easy to play this position as a rookie and to do all that we're asking him to do, because he does it all. It's in the run game, it's protection, and then you see the pass production. That's what everybody sees, right? The numbers, the separation. But nobody has really any true idea of all the other stuff he does for us. And that's a tight end. That's what a tight end does. And I'm glad he's ours. He just keeps growing. He doesn't say a word. He just goes to work. He's hard on himself, but he never gets down. He never feels sorry for himself. When he makes a mistake, it drives him. And I know this, at critical times of the game, he just always shows up. So it's not easy, but he's making it look easy. I know that.
What can you share about Ragnow's condition after the MRI?
Yeah, look, I would say this. I feel like more than anything we got good news, but that doesn't mean that he's going to be available this week.
Just when it comes to Donovan Peoples-Jones, one of the only moves you guys made around the trade deadline, I guess, are you hoping to see more involvement from him, or are you kind of slow playing with that to ramp him up a little bit?
Yeah, I think that we always felt like he was part of the room. He's part of what we have in there. We got a lot of confidence in Saint and Josh Reynolds. Jamo's coming on. Leaf, we know, is kind of our specialist, does a little bit of a lot of different jobs for us. And so we just feel like he's very much part of the crew. And we wanted to make sure he got used to what we're doing. He felt comfortable in our scheme and terminology. And so we just, every week, we're trying to give him just a little bit more. So we certainly feel like he's part of this receiving group. And we always want to try to get him a little bit more involved, if you will. But no, we don't. it's not like we see this guy immediately coming in, he's going to play 60 plays or something. We feel good about the receiver room, and he's part of it.
I think we talked about this a little bit coming out of the bye, but in terms of letting them come back, it was another third quarter that wasn't good for you guys offensively or defensively. The third quarter scoring, both offensively and defensively, is out of whack with your other quarters all season long. Mm-hmm. Is there anything in your, I guess, personal investigation of or looking back at what the team's doing? Is there anything about what you're doing at halftime is not setting you up for success coming out of the locker room?
Well, what I think of is Green Bay. We came out and scored, got a 3-and-out stop, and we got, and I'm like, all right, I'll take the first, second, and fourth quarter then, because it's just, man, we continue to talk about it. We continue, all right, this is what we want to do. These are the plays we want to hone in on. This is what we want to do defensively. And, honestly, with the exception of Green Bay, it's just kind of been that way. So I think we just keep tinkering with it, I think we continue to say, all right, what is going to be best to get us going on offense? Defensively, do we need to calm things down? Or maybe we need to just pressure a little bit more coming out after halftime. So, listen, believe it or not, we just continue to try to do a little bit of everything. But we're not going to lose sight of it. It is there. I'm not going to disagree with you at all. It is there.
I know Ben talks about just part of the game planning through the week is trying to figure out what the opponent thinks you are going to do and then having an answer to it. Like, is it almost like you have to have an anticipation to what their adjustments are going to be at halftime to attack that?
Yeah, I think, look, there is, and you always know they're going to adjust at some point. Like, look, they made an adjustment late first quarter on defense versus what we were doing. Some of those things we were able to have a lot of, we had a lot of success with early that got us the lead we got. They had begun to already take away from that. And so, it's not an excuse, but between that and then Frank, it just, we had to dial a couple of things back. And, but even that being said, if we just, there's a couple of things fundamentally, if we're a little bit better on, they go from a 2-yard gain to a 15-yard gain. And it really is that small. So, look, we know they're going to adjust, but I would say some of it is, all right, you come in knowing they're going to adjust, and this is what we do, but it's also, all right, we wanted to set them up with these plays. Then you come out in the second half, and now we're going to throw this at them. So you already kind of have an idea what you want to do. Well, maybe we need to go back and say, all right, let's not worry about these second half openers that we were going to do. That, you throw the first curveball, you throw the second. It needs to be more about what they did in the first half. So, but you constantly play that game. This isn't the first time that's come up. I mean, New Orleans was the same thing. You always, you play that balancing act. As you continue to play the chess game within, or do you stay true to what you felt like you need to do going into the game?
Any chance you get Alex back this week?
I think there's a chance. Yeah, I do.
And maybe just how that linebacker room responded without having kind of their leader there.
Listen, I thought the linebacker room played at a high level. I thought that group as a whole played really well for us. As a whole, they played winning football. Barnes was all over the field, man. Played fast, physical. I thought it was one of the best games Jack's played. Played well in space. Between he and Barnes, they both had the green dot at different times on the field and executed that well. And then we already talked about Germ. Germ executed at a high level. I mean, we got to find a way to get him out there a little bit. And then Rodrigo helped us out as well. So they all had a hand in it. The room was big for us, and that was another area that we felt good. If there's an area we've got depth and guys we trust, it's in the linebacking room right now. And so, if hopefully we do get Alex back this week, and that just brings more firepower on defense.
Obviously, don't want to lose Frank, but just how valuable is Graham Glasgow been this year to keep that train on the tracks?
It's exactly why we got him. That you don't want it for this moment, but it also is for this moment. And even to be able to make the move yesterday, he's banging away at right guard, and then at the drop of a hat, he's got to go back in there to center. And really played well at center yesterday. So, man, it's valuable to be able to have him here, and because we do have a lot of confidence in him playing center. So, yeah, thank God we got him.
You touched on the defensive start, and I know you probably weren't expecting to shut them out. You probably knew they were going to have some success, but Carr was kind of perfect for the rest of the way until he left the game. What were your takeaways just from the success he was able to have?
Yeah, look, we know what Carr is. I hold him to pretty high regard. I think he's a pretty good quarterback. He's played a lot in this league. He knows when the pressure's coming, where it's coming from. We talked about disguises, and he saw the field really well. I kind of said this early in the week, man. Our sole focus, first and foremost, was 41, man. AK. We could not let AK take the game over, and I thought for the most part we handled him well. Now, when you do that, you open up a couple of other areas, and so he got us a couple of times. Now, I would say there's probably 2 or 3 of those that were self-induced, and we got to clean up our own issues. But I believe we will and we can. So we may tinker a couple of things this week, but we'll see down the road. It's a good win by the guys, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough. And our guys know that. There's more out there, and we want more. And they'll be ready to go this week, man. Chicago, we know what they are, and they're coming off a bye. This will be a big week for us.
Just one more on the injury front. Lee was really powering through some stuff yesterday. Just how did he come out of that game?
Yeah, look, Mac's a little banged up. So we'll know more on him probably in, I would say, a couple of days. So there's a chance he may not be up either.